So it's going to be a really fun night on Sunday. Some people might be fighting over the remotes to watch the NFL playoff games. Others really dying to see the Golden Globes. Joining us, entertainment blogger Kelly Bisson. A lot of you will know her as Kelly Daisy. Great to have you back on our show.
Thank you for having me.
You excited?
I'm so excited. This is the funnest award show.
That's
really.
what we were saying.
Because they can drink. Honestly, it makes all the difference in the world, because when you have all these A-list stars sitting at their table with wine bottles and champagne bottles, and by the end of the show, you have a room filled with more losers than winners who are just drowning their sorrows, and it's fun because, you know, you've got the Robert Downey Jr.'s of the world, you know, heckling people up on stage, and it's just a fun time to watch.
I think people enjoy seeing who's talking to who's
Exactly.
as the commercials are coming, who's saying hi. You watch all the other things going on rather than just the actual awards. Let's start from the top, which is going to be the hosts. So what to expect from these amazing female comedians?
Well, we have Amy Poehler and Tina Fey hosting this year, which is, I mean, I think that's what most people are talking about leading up to it, because they're just so funny, and they, you know, they gave us those great acceptance speeches when they were all nominated for Best Actress in a Comedy, and they all walked up and held hands. And I think that we're actually going to be treated to a great award show in terms of hosting, and not just in terms of who's nominated this year, right? So I hope that the expectations don't get too much for them. You know, when you expect so much out of a host and then you kind of feel at the end. I really do think, though, that if anyone can deliver, it's these two women. And I think Seth MacFarlane for the Oscars is going to have a lot to live up to after they're done with this show.
I love the female empowerment aspect of this too, though, just because these women, they've been in tough situations before, and they've done a great job.
I do too, but I also love the fact that they're not making it about that. I mean, they're just two genuinely funny women who deserve this job and who will do a great job at it. And it's not about the fact that they're women, it's just about the fact that they're the best for the job.
And the best, like, they're best friends. They're incredibly close. Imagine being able to do a project like that with someone that you're that close with.
They're hilarious.
So we saw them doing the red carpet movement. Prior to us getting to see, you know, the two of them on stage, there's going to be a big red carpet lineup. What do you anticipate the fashion's going to look like?
You know what? I think last year, I think a lot of people went a little more safe and demure. Last year was the year of the artist. You know, that was the big movie last year. There's people we didn't really know. Demian Bashir won for, you know, Best Actor. And this year we have huge names on the carpet. You've got Anne Hathaway, you've got Jennifer Lawrence, you've got Kerry Washington, we've seen them in the red carpets leading up to now too, in all of their movie premieres, really bringing fashion more edgy fashion. Last year there was a lot of color. I think this year we're going to see a lot of black dresses back again, but dramatic with cutouts. We're going to see a lot of white. Kerry Washington last night was the London premiere of Django Unchained and wore this beautiful white strapless gown with a horse print on the front. And see, you can see it right there. You know, it wasn't strapless, but it's very different from what we typically see on a carpet. And with all these big names coming out, men and women, I think this carpet is going to be one. It won't be the best because they're going to save that
for the Oscars.
But it's going to be definitely something that is going to be different, and it's not going to be safe, I don't think, because there's no clear front runners this year for any category. So everybody's bringing their A game when they come to this tonight.
So I think a lot of people will be looking at the red carpet and the lead up to it. Once we actually get the awards going, what is the anticipation there? Because there's been some great movies that are out. As you mentioned, there are some huge A-list celebrities in the room and in the running. Usually they're there to mingle, but there's a lot of names up for nominations.
There are, and there's a lot of, you know, it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of, not a lot of snubs, but, you know, when the Academy Award nominations were announced yesterday, Ben Affleck did not get a Best Director nomination. And last night, he managed to win the Critics' Choice Award for Best Director. So when he got up, he thanked the Academy as kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of acceptance speech. But you know, there's no front runner, and especially at the Golden Globes, because you have dramatic categories and you have musical and comedy categories. So in the other, like, we normally see the Golden Globes as a precursor to the Oscars, but you've got Jessica Chastain from Zero Dark 30 going up against Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook, but at the Golden Globes they're in two different categories, so they can both win. You know, they both won last night at the Critics' Choice Award, because same thing. So it'll be interesting to see who kind of has the edge going into the Oscars. But it's a great year because there's no clear front runners. Last year, everybody was talking about The Artist. That was kind of, Meryl Streep won for Best Actress. It was very predictable. It's great to go into an awards season not knowing and having so many really fantastic films out there to kind of have them all. It's going to come down to campaign right now.
I was going to say, is it about the
Absolutely.
next month of them doing the talk shows and talking about the films? And
it's going to be a lot of behind the scenes too. It's going to be a lot of the studios campaigning and a lot of them, you know, seeing what they can do behind the scenes to get their movie in, you know, into the proper hands.
Have you seen a lot of the front runners?
I've seen a lot of them. I still have a lot to come. I absolutely loved Silver Linings Playbook. I'm thrilled that they got so many Oscar nominations, and I thought Bradley Cooper was amazing in that movie. So
Have you seen Les Mis?
No, I'm going next week.
Okay.
Yes, going next week.
That will be covered.
Yes.
Do you like in terms of the actual show and the nominations, the categories, I think what you really like is that everything is broken down a lot more.
Well, yes and no, because then you have so many more players in the game, right? So it's kind of hard. I mean, it's great that you can recognize more people, but it doesn't really help you at the end of the day.
I also like, too, the interaction between big Hollywood movies and big time television.
Yes.
Like, that for me is the great interaction that you see these two huge entertainment properties come together.
And it's great when you see the television winners, like the Best Actor, you know, when the Jim Parsons of Big Bang Theory gets up to accept an award and he's staring at, you know, Bradley Cooper and he's staring at Robert De Niro and he's staring at all these greats, and it's nice that they can be recognized in the same room together.
One is big time, and the other one is almost like the daily grind of a 9 to 5.
They're the ones who have to walk all the way across the stage from the back tables to get onto the stage.
Yeah, but then you get to hug everyone and say hi, and then you get to see more people along the table. It's right.
Exactly.
So keep in mind, Golden Globes Sunday night. People can watch for your blog. You are going to be crazy on Twitter. I anticipate
Follow
that
me at
night.
Kelly Daisy.
Kelly Daisy, thanks.
And we'll talk all Golden Globes.
Oh, yeah, trust me, you'll be going crazy on your phone.